in the last 70 years. So one should go WTF, okay? Like this should be a thing. Like, this is not even possible. What are you even saying here? So, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of clinics where people go to try to have babies and stuff like that, growing. There's a lot of people are making a lot of money in certain types of clinics now, because there are now clinics to help young men get hormonally balanced so they can even have sex. So one might think I'm exaggerating. This is absolutely true. If you want to make a huge amount of money in investment, you need to invest in a doctor who is starting clinics across the United States, and they'll have a nice term for it. I don't know what they'll call it. But it's helping men and women be hormonally balanced at even a young age. Okay, it is insane, it is crazy, and you can think I'm exaggerating, go Google it. Google everything I say, just go Google it. Okay, so how can that be? How can the motility of men's sperm be decreased by 50% in that amount of time? That is like crazy. So if sperm gets below a certain count, and I honestly don't know what it is. I think I read it, I don't know, like 20 million, whatever, per little whatever. I don't remember it. But when you get past a certain level, we can't procreate. It's over. There was a movie about it. I saw it. It must be true. So at some point we can't procreate anymore. And so some people are like, okay, wait a minute. Could this actually happen? And absolutely, we are on the way to that happening. We're on the way to that happening. When young girls age 6 to 8 have to be given prescription drugs to stop menstruating so that they can continue to grow, there's something wrong in our society. This happens. I'm not saying it, I'm not making it up, Google it. If young boys' testicles never, all the parts, never grow into what we would call adult, that's going to be pretty challenging for that male person. It happens. So, this is real. Honest to God, it's real. So, hormonally, we are extremely challenged, and it's in a large part of why we see our society overweight and obese, because that's hormonally a lot of what's going on here. And so people beat themselves up like, oh, I have no willpower, I have no this, I can't seem to do this, I can't do that. Well, guess what? Your hormones and brain chemicals are telling you to eat that half a gallon of ice cream. So your brain's done it. And not only that, you are addicted. So this is probably a good time when I need to talk about this. So virtually everyone in this room is addicted to some food substances. And so we don't like the word addicted. Anybody that knows me knows that I am addicted to adrenaline and dopamine. Those two things make me feel really good, and I keep going back and getting more of it. And I have for most of my life. And I probably will till I fall off a mountain or something happens. Okay, so I made the decision that this is better than meth. And I consider myself pretty healthy, and this is what I do, and I'm kind of like okay with it. So what we need to do is go, okay, I'm addicted to sugar. So I look around the room and I have to say, like, you probably all are. And so, because we are in our society, that's all there is to it. We just are, and we might not know it, but we are. So if we are okay with that addiction, and we say, like, I'm okay with being overweight and obese, I'm okay with getting diabetes and arthritis and heart disease and cancer and Alzheimer's, then go for it. Because some people are meth addicts and they stay on meth because they like it. And they know they're going to die, but they've made that choice. So we have a choice to make of whether we're going to break the addiction and be healthier or not. And the addiction is insidious. So this is well accepted and proven in tons of studies. So it used to be I couldn't remember which drug and which which one it was and whatever. It doesn't matter because they all do. So sugar hits the same pleasure center in our brain as meth, cocaine, nicotine, and caffeine. I think all those four. So when we have something like that, and it hits the pleasure center in our brain, and we feel good. And we know that opioids and things like that are addictive, and we get addicted, and it's a real thing. Alcohol is addictive, we know all that. So one has to first accept that sugar is an addiction. It's actually changed your brain. So your brain right now is not, for many reasons, whatever, but not the same as when you were a kid. So it has been altered somewhat because we're addicted to sugar. So it's not an easy thing to break. It's not an easy thing to do because it's a true addiction. People who stop having sugar of all kinds will have probably headaches and feel lousy for a few days. Caffeine, headaches, feel lousy for a few days. Soda, yeah, but I only drink diet. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so one of the other reasons that in our society osteoporosis, because phosphoric acid. The phosphoric acid in all soda tends to deplete calcium from our bones. So people that that have a soda habit, they drink 6 a day or who knows what, if they don't already, they will have osteoporosis, especially white women. So that's a real thing, Google it, whatever. And so one should never drink soda. I tell people, if you are you're in the movie and you're crawling in the desert and you're about to die and there's a can of soda there, okay, drink the soda. But that's the only time one should ever drink that soda. And when you drink that, you're gonna have a horrible sugar buzz, insulin spike, and then you'll probably fall asleep 20 minutes later and die anyway, okay, from the sugar spike. So I never thought about that, but I guess it gives you another 20 minutes. So maybe a plane will fly by in that 20 minutes. I don't know. Okay, so no human should drink soda. You've all heard the things like whatever, Mountain Dew has 23 teaspoons, 21 teaspoons of sugar, and then one should go, well, if I put that much sugar in it, wouldn't it sit in the bottom? Okay, they have all kinds of scientists figure this stuff out. It's in there. Okay, you should never drink it. Okay, so any questions so far? Nobody's run screaming out the door yet. So when we start to talk about our 30-day nutrition challenge, it's very much like the Whole30. If you've ever heard of the Whole30 or done the Whole30, I want you to go to the Whole30 website and I want you to check it out. You need to go there and study it and check it out. And I'm not going to talk too much about it. There's a wealth of information there about what to do and what not to do, and it's your homework for the weekend. What you can eat, what you can't eat. There's grocery lists, there's food lists, there's recipes, there's a ton of stuff. And I want to do that. So what we want to do is use Whole30 quality foods. So basically we're going to do the Whole30 for 30 days, and but with a little bit of a twist. So right now I think it's a good time. You all have a metabolic burner quiz there, and we're supposed to, as we go through this, you're supposed to, choose the one that there might not be a perfect answer, and the whole thing is not perfect. We can't categorize everyone in 3 groups, but you're supposed to kind of go with the first thing that comes to mind, and just burn through that, and we'll see what you come up with. Okay, so moving on a little bit. So we said that we wanted to use Whole30 quality foods, and you'll see that on the Whole30 there you can eat virtually any real food, and you can eat zero artificial ingredients whatsoever. So well, since I'm on the subject, I might as well hit that. So, there's no caffeine, there's no sugar, there's no artificial ingredients, only real food. And so I've heard people just like blurt out to me, I can't do that. And well, one, you can't do it if you think you can. But what I would say, and you'll see this on the Whole30 website, this is not hard. Cancer is hard, Alzheimer's is hard, those things are hard. This is not hard. It's not even close to hard. So it sounds hard, it sounds scary because we are addicted to sugar and caffeine. Those are two kind of major ones. And like some people cannot imagine, well, you take my coffee, I will kill you. Okay? So it's like that, you know? Yeah, no, I'm still gonna have this. Okay, I'll do that, but I'm still gonna have this. No. So this is, okay, you can do whatever you want if you're gonna do the challenge. You can do whatever you want. But if you want it to work, you must do it. There's no little bit, if this, if that, maybe a little this, a little that. Remember that the most important aspect, the goal that we're trying to achieve is to create a reset for your hormones. That's what we're trying to do. That's like the overall goal of this. Yes, in 30 days people lose weight because they're eating real food. Yes, they feel better. Yes, allergies go away. Yes, they can sleep. Yes, restless leg went away. Yes, yes, yes. Like there's shocking, amazing things go away. Yes, I'm not bloated. Yes, everything's working every day. Yes, there's a lot of things that we Americans live with that we don't talk about or we assume is normal, and you just live with it. And it's not normal. Being like spacey, having highs and lows and all kinds of things, and having our hormones over the top because nothing's balanced. Those things are not normal. So typically in the Whole30, people feel not the greatest for the first 3 or 4 days, and then they just start feeling better and better and better. You can go through stages. You can also read about that on the website. But it has to be a hormonal reset. Okay, so you are an alcoholic, and so okay, like I'm a functioning alcoholic because I only binge on the weekends. Okay, I go to work every day. You're an alcoholic. Okay, you're going to have liver disease. All that stuff that's going on. By the way, you can't build muscle when you have alcohol in your system for approximately, I don't want to lie, but I think it's 5 or 6 hours. Alcohol is a toxin, like sugar. It's not a good thing. Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about alcohol. Okay, so okay, well, you can take my sugar and you can take my coffee, but you better not take my cocktail when I get home. Wine. Okay, so women love wine. Okay, this is the thing. We're having a wad in wine now. This is horrible, actually. And because I feel like a junkie now. I'm a total hypocrite. Okay, so you mentioned wine and women are there. Okay? And so, like, why is that? Why is that? They say, well, it calms me down. Okay, well, we have too much damn stress in our life, for one, and then people feel really good for a little while. It is a depressant, and there's a ton of sugar in wine, and then most people have probably found that they don't feel the greatest the next day. So wine is, alcohol is a poison. There's no doubt about it. And so we have these little addictions and these little habits, and some of them are psychological habits. Okay, so like every day I had Cap'n Crunch for cereal for my entire life, and I can't have breakfast without Cap'n Crunch. Okay, well that is just plain stupid, one. Okay, so like we can get over that. We know better than that. We can do that. We're adults. We're humans. We can adapt. We can change. We can change our habits. We can do better. We know that. We can do that. Remember, this is not hard. Cancer's hard. The incidence of Alzheimer's is skyrocketing. Alzheimer's is now called type 3 diabetes. So we know that type 2 diabetes, I should talk about this sugar stuff a little bit. Very, very quickly, because this is the following. So I'm going to talk about sugar, then we're going to go here, and then I'm like off that subject, okay? That'll be as fast as I can. Sugar. So cavemen didn't have any sugar. We're not supposed to have sugar. Sugar is a toxin. We don't need sugar. We don't have to have it. Even if your grandmother says kids need sugar for energy, we don't. You can't believe your grandmother. She was misled, okay? So we do not need sugar. Don't need it. Okay, when you eat sugar like we do in America, something, carbohydrates have a glycemic index. Table sugar is 100, it's supposed to be like, kind of like the middle or whatever. It's not the best place to be. And so everything is scored on a glycemic index. And so white flour, which is in virtually every product, has a higher glycemic index than sugar. So it's assimilated into our body faster than sugar. It creates it, so it goes into our bloodstream. So we assimilate, it goes into our bloodstream, and your pancreas goes, oh my God, they did it again. There's all this sugar in our bloodstream, and it has to be a very narrow margin. And so it says we have to do something about it or we're gonna die. So the pancreas produces insulin, it goes into your bloodstream, and the pancreas, or the insulin, transports the correct amount, because it's like super smart, and it takes the correct amount of sugar out of your bloodstream and transports it. So if you're an athlete and you just worked out, so it'll take that to your muscles. That's a cool thing, that's a great thing. We're restoring our muscle glycogen. Awesome. And if your muscles are full, it'll store up your liver. And okay, cool, liver's full of glycogen, right on. Okay, this is awesome. And then, so the muscles are full, the liver's full, there's a few cells here and there. What now? The only place that insulin can take the blood sugar is to fat. There's nothing left. Okay, so right away you're going, okay, fat, people getting fatter, sugar, fat, getting fatter. That is why. So your body is basically saving your life. Most Americans, saving your life every day by transporting the blood sugar out of your bloodstream and storing it somewhere where it won't do any harm. And so if you're working out every day and you have a depository of muscle, by the way, having muscle is one of the best things you can do for yourself. It is this awesome organ depository for all kinds of wonderful things. So your goal should be to get as much muscle as possible and to retain it for as long as possible. Don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger and steroids, but just think muscle tone. You need it, you want it, and it's going to save you from lots and lots of stuff. Okay, so your pancreas saves your life every day, transporting that off to fat. It's one of the few places in your body that can produce new cells. So it doesn't just fill up a cell. It gets, oh, that one's full. Oh, let's make another fat cell and we'll fill that one up, another one. And so it's a bad thing. And then fat hormonally produces estrogen. Okay, guys, beer belly. Okay, what? Okay, estrogenic substances. Oh my God, there's another subject I really should have done. Go ahead. Okay, so estrogenic substances. So beer bellies. That's not a coincidence. Okay, fat stored around the middle, unhealthy, and well-known health risk. But fat, in and of itself, produces estrogen. So we have, in our society, we have women. So if you think, okay, so really quickly, women, oh boy, I was supposed to go back to sugar. So women, estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen, fat, progesterone, lean muscle. Okay, certainly not that simple, but we can think of it that way. Our whole society is estrogenic. So there are tons of substances in our society, pesticides and herbicides and all kinds of things like that, plastic, BPA, all those kinds of things. They are estrogenic substances. Soy is a phytoestrogen, it's a plant-based, but we're bombarded with xenoestrogens, which are chemical-based. They are everywhere. And so a newborn baby has something like 123 foreign chemicals in the umbilical cord. 123 foreign chemicals in that poor little kid's umbilical cord before they're even like born. Okay, that sucks. That's ridiculous. Okay, so we are bombarded with these chemicals and we are wrong. where everything is screwed up and it's really, really hard for us to get balance. So women are hyperestrogen, men hyperestrogen. We're all supposed to have a balance of talk about the two big sex hormones, estrogen and testosterone. So we both have it, men and women, and just in different levels. And so the thing is, it's supposed to be balanced. And so it's not in our society, and it creates lots and lots of problems. So when I say men are not men anymore, I'm absolutely 100% serious about that. I, for one, am going to try to do the best job I can at retaining my maleness. I want that. A lot of people don't even know about it, and they are screwed. In this society, in this generation, younger people, they are already having enormous problems. I talked about those clinics and stuff like that. Okay, we're all, never, I don't want to even go there. Okay, I can't go there. Sorry, it would be so funny, but I can't do it. Okay, so anyway, estrogenic substances, we need to fix that, and we can heal a lot of problems, getting in a hormonal balance there. Okay, so I was trying to get back around to sugar because it's getting late, we gotta go. So, sugar. So we talked about it in the bloodstream and how that works. When we eat a real food, it has fiber and all that kind of stuff is absorbed slowly. And our body, even protein, whatever, it does what it needs to do, and it creates, our body runs on types of sugar, and it produces that in a like a nice slow curve. And it supplies our body for a nice period of time, and then we get hungry, and then we eat some more of it in a nice slow curve. In America, we have pop, or I don't know what, or like a donut or a bagel, or even things that people think are healthy, or Mexican food, or whatever, I don't care. It's got tons of carbohydrates in it that we're not accustomed to. Our blood sugar spikes, pancreas goes, oh shit, it puts insulin in there, and then it drops really fast. And then 20 minutes later, people are really tired or grouchy or whatever, or kids are flipping out or whatever, and then